Today I want to talk about the 4:5 ratio, the famous Instagram crop that we all have come to know and love so well. Some general approaches on how we can actually fit our images within that ratio, as it's not always easy, and some general tips and tricks along the way. So let's jump over into Photoshop. This image was shot in Dublin, Ireland at the Samuel Beckett Bridge, and I'm done the edit. Now I want to post it onto Instagram, so I'll go to my crop tool, make sure 4:5 is selected, and as you can see, we have a slight problem. Now in some images this is okay, you can just crop. It might not look as good as the original, but it'll get the job done. And then we have other images like this where you either have to sacrifice your foreground or the top part of the image, which actually has a portion of the bridge in it. So that's not gonna work. So what I'm gonna do, I already have the crop tool selected, and I'm just gonna drag it down and make the selection. Click OK. And it looks funky, so that's not gonna work, but that's okay. We have numbers at the top and the side, the ruler, so if we click and drag, we can bring down some markers. And I'm just gonna make a quick outline of the 4:5 crop. This is for a guideline. And then with the crop tool, I'm gonna hit clear, and I'm gonna drag this back up to the top and hit OK. So now with these guidelines, we can see where we need to be with the 4:5 crop. Now there's a few ways to go about this. You can do this in sections, or you can shrink everything all in one go. It really depends on the image. They're all very different. But just to show you, if I were to click on the rectangular marquee tool and make a selection of everything, click Control-T or Command-T on a Mac, edit, transform, distort. And if I were to shrink down everything and click OK, you'll see that it looks very squished everywhere. So we don't want that. In some images this might work. For this one, clearly not. I'm gonna go back. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this in sections. So I'll make a selection of maybe the foreground area. Control-T or Command-T, edit, transform, distort. Just gonna slide that up a bit. Click OK. Control-D or Command-D to get rid of the selection, and I'm gonna zoom in and just see if it looks clean enough. There's a slight line across there, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the rectangular marquee tool out again and make a selection of that. And with the move tool, if I just slightly bring it up, Control-D or Command-D, the line is gone. We have a slight issue right here, so I'm just gonna correct that real quick. If we create a pixel layer, get the clone stamp tool out, and make a selection about right here. Just go down here and I'll paint that in, and it looks good enough for the video. Great, so I'm gonna merge these two layers, right click, merge layers, and then I'm gonna make a selection again and just slide everything down to the bottom. Okay. And then Control-D to get rid of the selection. So now I still have a little bit to work with. So I think for the example in the video, I'm just gonna make a selection from the top down to maybe about midway in the image. Do Control-T or Command-T again, edit, transform, distort. I'm just gonna bring it all the way down to the marker. Click OK. Control-D or Command-D, and there we have it. Now we have the image. So using this method, we can control where we're shrinking in the image rather than just everything and everything looking squished. You know, I left the foreground intact here and just made the changes to the midground and to the top of the image. And I think it looks pretty acceptable. I mean, if I were to take this off and look at the before, clearly that's gonna look better.
but I think, you know, this gets the point across and this will work for Instagram. Now what I might do is I might use 2 images. This will be the first image, which you would see on my feed. And then if you swipe, you'll be able to see the second image, which will have the full ratio surrounded by borders. So how do we do that? I'm gonna go into a new tab here. And this is very straightforward. So I'm gonna get the crop tool out, set it to 4:5, and I'm just gonna drag this side up to here and this side down to here. Gonna click OK. And now I'm going to create a pixel layer. I'm going to bring that down to the bottom. And I have white selected, so if I hit down Alt and backspace, it'll fill that layer. And now we can see that we have white borders. So I'll export this, and then on Instagram, you'll be able to see the modified version. And then if you swipe over, you can see the original ratio with the borders. And this is what it would look like on the phone.
Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I greatly appreciate it. If you found this tutorial useful, hit that subscribe button, like button, and tune in for future tutorials.